And of course, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Philip Hirose. He is the co-owner of Azay. As you can tell, right now we are not currently at Azay, but we are very close by. So with that, I'll go ahead and let us start to cook and talk as well. So thanks, everyone. Um, Hi, Philip. Thanks for joining
Hey,
us today. Okay. Also, I wanted to prompt everyone in the chat too. Unfortunately, Philip and I cannot hear you, so sorry. If you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself, and our staff member can let us know what your question is. But feel free to ask any questions you have for Philip, whether it's about himself, or his food, or Aza in general. Okay. So, Philip, what would you like to share with us today?
um, food wise or just in general
Let's
or
start with food first.
food? Okay, great. So food wise, we will be making our soy cucumber. It is something that has been introduced into our menu more recently within the past year. Yeah, it's easy to make. It's healthy. Um, and it's yeah, it brings in some nice vinegar, salt to whatever dish we're enjoying.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay. So how should we get started?
great. So we'll get started with so there's no specifics on what type of cucumbers you need to use.
Okay.
But in this case, we usually use Persian cucumbers.
Got it.
For us, it's yeah. We use this or Japanese cucumbers. Persian ones. It's funny. Before this, I was like, "Don't ask me questions about the difference between a Persian and a Japanese cucumber." But I will mention that these are more common. They're a little more cost efficient as well. It's just something that we're mindful of with the food that we prepare at the restaurant. Yeah. Um, yeah, so the ingredients, it's very easy. It's just cucumbers, shoyu, rice vinegar, sugar, some salt.
Yeah.
We will share in the chat the ratios
Okay,
so that people could note it. It's so easy, anybody can make it. And I think that's what's so nice about it.
All right, nice.
Yeah. Great. So I guess I'll get started, and then in the meantime, I will try my best to answer the dicey questions you're about to ask.
Okay. So yeah, to introduce this class, we are going to be kind of having an interview, but also a conversation with Philip, talking a little bit about, well, getting to know Philip in general, if you have any questions, but also about maybe Azay, the restaurant as well. He is co-owner of Azay. So right now, Philip is just prepping the cucumbers. So we see him right now, he's cutting away at the ends of the cucumbers to get them prepped, and he's gonna just chop them into, I'd say, just bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, and just show. Great. For questions, do we answer them as they come, or are we?
What are you most comfortable with? If you can, we'll monitor the chat and we can ask these
I
questions.
think anytime's fine.
Yeah.
I could also like fold in the questions into the conversation as well.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think one thing to note that Brendan mentioned earlier is that we are clearly not in Azay. Reason being is that we have been the restaurant has been in restoration mode since April. There was a fire that broke out above us, and all the water damage that came from the fire rained into our dining room, and so we had to gut out our dining room.
Right.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we are next door. We are in what is and will be Onzen, which is my grandfather's hardware store on my mom's side. It's gonna open. I can't give it an exact day. Definitely soon. We knew that the well-being and the onsen opening had a lot to do with the well-being of the restaurant.
Mhm.
And we knew that they were intertwined. And I think that it was something that we were hoping as we acquired it from the previous owner, Nori.
Mhm.
So during the meantime, the restaurant and our staff, we have been, been able to spend time with family and friends, which can be so difficult.
Yeah.
Part of the terms and conditions of like working at a restaurant is that you unfortunately have to miss a lot of birthday parties, a lot of weddings, a lot of like life-changing moments. And I mean, for us moving forward, we want to prioritize that with our staff because that ties into the work that we do.
Right.
So in the meantime, we've been doing that. We've been engaging in community with like the youth specifically. Like down at Nishi Center at Nishi, we held some onigiri workshops with the preschooler and kindergartners. We participated at the Little Tokyo Service Center's summer camp. And we have continued to make meals for the folks in Pasadena that just concluded for the time being last Monday. So during this time, it allowed us to really think beyond the traditional restaurant service. And meet people where they're at, engage in community, do a lot of creative, I think, work that can be so difficult when the restaurant's open, just because the grind of running a restaurant is so exhausting.
Right.
So I know that we're probably should have, we talked about maybe bringing this at the very end, but we are preparing to reopen. It's looking like the very end or last weekend of October or the first weekend of November. It's going to be, in many ways, I mean, it's going to be like this with onsen. There's going to be a lot of familiarity. I think that there were a lot of things that were working that we were really happy about. But also in the spirit of impermanence, the restaurant will evolve, even just a little bit. And we are excited to see everybody coming back to the restaurant, engaging with new customers, engaging with new people in the community. So our chef at Azay for the daytime is Chef Jared Mori. He has been with us for the past year. He is from the West Side, grew up going to Venice High. I don't want to get that wrong because I'm sure it's territorial being like, Venice, Santa Monica, and whatnot. He's Japanese American, I believe fourth generation. Has roots in the community on the West Side, and most importantly for us, it's about our staff understanding the community that we work in, physically in Little Tokyo, but also as part of Japanese America, but also being more expansive into a Little Tokyo and a Japanese America that we envision as being more inclusive of their ethnicities and cultures. At the moment, we are not looking for a head chef, but we may be looking for like an assistant chef as we are restructuring for this reopening.
Got it.
Allowing us to identify a lot of things that we have been missing. Sorry, that was a lot.
No,
that was a long-winded answer.
It's great. Just also to reiterate, you said onsen, but did you mean Azay's reopening?
Azay's reopening, but later an onsen
Yes.
reopening. Correct.
Got it.
So after cutting the, sorry, real quick, after cutting the
Okay.
cucumbers, we are just gonna sprinkle some salt to extract some of the liquid.
Moisture.
And yeah,
Great. Okay, so while you're salting those and getting the moisture sucked out of them, just wanted to reiterate in case anybody missed it. So Philip did say Azay will be reopening, hopefully, not confirmed, but tentatively, hopefully, last week of October or maybe early November. So please be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, you guys can come out and support and join him for that first meal opening. All right, he's just shaking up the cucumbers right now, making sure the salt gets everywhere so that all that moisture is pulled out of the cucumbers. So that way it's easier for the pickling to get more developed flavors inside the actual cucumbers themselves.
correct.
Yes.
Maybe we should be switching positions and you could be cooking this.
No,
I think that would be great.
I think you're
I
doing
would
great.
love it.
I think you're doing great.
No, let's do it. And then you have to just figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, so how long are we gonna let these sit for to pull out the moisture?
We'll just leave it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I think ideally it will be in 20 minutes, but yeah, we highly encourage that you adjust recipes as you feel that works best.
Yeah.
To your liking. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much. Okay. So I know you talked a little bit or maybe a lot about what Azay has been up to, what your staff has been up to in this meantime while the store has been down for right now for renovations. I wanted to ask a little bit about your ties to the community. I don't know if you know this off the top of your head. I don't know why I'm putting you on the spot like this. Do you know how much you like or how much you contributed to like the Pasadena effort, whether it's like, number of bentos or how often were you going out there and how many groups were you like helping out?
I don't know.
So can you go?
I don't know. I know in the beginning it was for multiple entities.
Yeah.
It was right the Pasadena like Japanese Community Institute, the Buddhist Temple. There were also a lot of first responders, specifically firefighters. There were also like a lot of immigrants who were impacted.
Yeah.
And who don't have access to government support, being that they don't have the documentation. That is really difficult to acquire. And so, sorry, yeah, I don't have an exact number, but I know that we did not do it alone.
Yeah.
Our staff was fully on board with wanting to do something, and I think that part of being a restaurant or a chef is that we're in the business of like hospitality, but also it's really just how to care for one another.
Yeah.
And we knew that nourishment through food is something that could be positively impactful and powerful. And so, yeah, I know in Little Tokyo, it wasn't just us, but it was also Farbar that participated. Kato was very generous with the support as well as the Little Tokyo Service Center. Japangelis held like a fundraiser. There were, we did not publicly solicit for support, knowing that there were people who lost their homes.
Yeah.
So we didn't feel that it was, we wanted to just direct everybody's monetary contributions to go to them and not us. But people still wanted to support in some ways, so they donated to us. That did go to the meals themselves. Just want to acknowledge that like it really does take a village.
Yeah.
It takes so many people, not to measure how much, but just the willingness to want to help, whether it be time, money, sharing something on social media, like that all it plays a role.
Yeah.
So we're just the blip in a greater network of people who was running to the problem. I forgot what the instance was, but somebody told me about, not me, but somebody, I feel like yeah, somebody said, talked about how at a disaster, there are people who run away from disaster to run from the, uh, thing that's happening, but then there's a lot of people that are running towards them, towards the disaster to help others. So I think a lot about that and how, there are a lot of people who were so generous.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great.
Yeah. So no real number, but I know it's a lot,
Yeah.
and I know that it's something that will continue for decades.
Yeah.
To lose a house, to lose a community, is a traumatic incident, an occurrence, and we could just show up for one another.
Thanks. I'm sorry. I didn't think it's like you'd have a number, but I wanted to get you your proper recognition.
One bento, one very large bento that could serve 10,000 people.
I wanted to make
No,
sure you
just
had
kidding.
proper recognition because we
No.
heard a lot from, throughout the community that, how much Azay has been a help, and along with all the other organizations you said as well, but, your name did come up a lot. So
No.
I want to make sure you got the proper recognition. Going along with that same vein of, talking about the community, do you want to share a little bit how you started, or I guess like how you got so connected into the community as well?
Yeah, it was not by choice. It was a decision that my parents made at a time when we couldn't drive or make decisions to ourselves for ourselves because we were so young. But yeah, a lot of it I think contributes to spending a lot of time at Nishi Honganji on First Street. They have programs like scouting, Sunday school. It was a place where my grandfathers spent a lot of time at. The summer camp, and there's people to this day who I still are good friends with, still see in the community, which I think is really special. Then there's I think just spending a lot of time in Little Tokyo provided a lot of grounding for myself. And that's how I feel very connected, I guess.
That's great. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
we have
Oh yeah.
we have messages in the chat. Okay.
Oh.
So Alice asks, do you allow the main chef to develop the menu for the restaurant, or is it a combination of what you, the owner, wants and the chef's ideas?
Yes, great question. Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge has been how do we, and it's something that has continued and has existed since we've been open a whole 6 years ago, is how does a restaurant evolve over time?
Yeah.
There are there's intention and there's meaning to stick to tradition, stick to what has always worked. But in this special case of the past 6 months, let alone the past year, Chef Jared has been, Chef Jared, I'll also want to bring up Chef Crisono, Chef Gary, Chef Ryan, Vivi, about all of them. It really does take a village at our tiny restaurant. Everyone has been very mindful about how do we also participate in the menu, right? Yeah. So there definitely will be I don't know. You'll notice that there will be some new menu ideas, but also sticking to the things that have worked for us.
Yeah.
That is like our Japanese breakfast and our daily bento. But also knowing that like those two items have evolved over the past 6 years.
Yeah.
We are leaning a little more towards, I think, a menu that is more reflective of the staff and the community that we envision. So there may be things that may seem non-traditional, but that's okay. I think
Yeah.
you know, we're not traditionally specifically Japanese, like, and so I think I'll give more meaning to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think speaking to that non-traditionalist ideals and stuff like that, the name Azay in general, I think people get confused often that they think it's like a Japanese word.
Mhm.
Do you want to give a little bit of background context about Azay in general, its
Yes.
name, stuff like that?
Yeah, so Azay is a short name for a town in central France in the Loire Valley. I'm gonna butcher it, but the long name is Azay le Rideau. Yeah, it's a town that is probably the size of Little Tokyo, but it the imprint is maybe like 5 to 10% of it.
Mhm.
There's a post office. There's like maybe 2 bars, 2 bakeries. The only thing that is like actually commercial, like big, there's like one like market about the size of the flower shop on uh, on Zen, but everything else is it's that little town in Europe. And it's a town where my father trained to become a French chef.
Yeah.
Moving there at the age of 18, really uh, becoming a member of the town, the community, the region, and culturally. Yeah, we named it that to honor him, but also my parents' previous restaurant in Japan that had the same name, but it was a more fine dining restaurant. Yeah, that's fortunately it works phonetically for Japanese.
Yeah.
So it's like a ah and a se with a ten.
Mhm.
But it's also French.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Just time check. I think we have past 5 minutes on these.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. So jumping back into this, what I'm gonna do real quick is here's the ratio. I kind of just printed it out on this for Trent you put in the chat. I have 2 cups of shoyu.
Quick question
yes.
also from the chat.
Oh, yes.
What salt did you use? Was that just
Oh, so this is a Naruto salt. This is
Naruto.
a Japanese sea salt that we just had.
okay?
There's no specific. I mean, I would probably not use like French sea salt,
Uh-huh.
but I would, yeah, any salt.
Any salt? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There's also a lot of salt in the soy sauce. So
Right.
Want to be mindful about like
Yes.
over salting.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So over the fire, we're just gonna cook sugar real quick. So this is 2 cups, right, Trent? I think
2 cups. Yeah.
2 cups of sugar. We have a cup of rice vinegar, or 1.5 cups of rice vinegar. Yeah. And then we have half a cup of sugar. Yeah.
And then any specific type of shoyu you used here? Was it just like kikkoman or?
Yeah. Honestly, whatever is economical.
Okay.
Because you're cooking it.
Yeah.
I would not recommend using like a really
like a high grade.
one.
Yeah. And then for the sugar as well, just any sugar.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And that's 2 cups of shoyu, 1.5 cups of rice vinegar, and about half a cup of sugar.
Correct.
Okay.
And then what Chef Jer likes to do is he likes to put a few slices of ginger.
Oh, okay.
That brings a little brightness into the soy cucumber, but do as you feel, as you like.
Mhm.
Because you're probably not going to be serving it to Chef Jared. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have this on low, medium, or?
We're just gonna put this on high.
A high heat, yeah.
A high heat, just for time reasons.
Yeah, time reasons to
cook it real quick
faster.
Until there's a light simmer, and then we're going to pour it straight into here.
Got it. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Brennan, what is I don't know. What question should we ask you? What is your favorite type of tsukemono or like pickle thing?
Oh,
Doesn't have to be Japanese either.
that is a good question. Um, hmm. Actually, growing up, I used to be very, very picky. So I used to like not eat any sort of pickle thing in general. But funnily enough, the first like pickle thing I started to eat when I like developed the palate, I guess you could say, was my mom's own shoyu pickles.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I think traditionally, like I guess I don't really like American or like dill pickles.
Right. Is it because it's too sour or like what about it?
I don't know.
It could be sour.
Growing up for me, it was the smell.
Right.
Like just smelling of like an American pickle kind of felt a little strong on the senses.
Right.
But I feel like a shoyu pickle or like a shoyu cucumber for me is like it's just so light and kind of like bright, and it's almost like a like nice like palate cleanser in between each bite.
Yes.
And so that's how I started eating pickles actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is like not like a scripted answer. Like that actually is the
But you
truth.
told me you were gonna say this before. This is all scripted.
Yeah, it's actually kimchi.
I was like, it better be a pickle or else I'm not gonna ask this question. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is coming up to a fast simmer.
Right.
Okay.
And then once that's done, we're just gonna pour that right into here.
Let's see if Trent can work the camera on that a little bit. Great. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Pour it all right in there.
Great. And then we would put a plate to submerge. So you'll notice how like some of the pickles are still or above they're breaking the
water
surface
level?
tension. But yeah, the shoyu level, I guess. This plate is a little too big. So
Got it.
I should get a smaller one, but you should put something above it to submerge everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then you'll just cover it. You'll leave it out so that you don't put it into the refrigerator like this.
Yeah.
For food safety reasons.
Yep.
And then once it cools down, then you can stick it in the fridge overnight.
Yeah.
Usually by overnight it'll be ready to eat. It really comes down to preference. Some people like to eat it with a short amount of fermentation. Some people longer.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Philip said. So right now it is, hot liquid. You don't want to throw that into the fridge because you're just asking for bacteria and mold growth from like really hot to really cold. So you want to wait for it to cool down to room temperature, and then you can stick it in the fridge. And then just let it ferment as you like. I think also a technique that I've seen, I don't know if this is what you guys do. Can you also use like a paper towel?
Yes, you could use a paper towel as well.
Yeah.
To further submerge the
make sure it's all evenly spread out. Okay, great.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna set this and forget it for now.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little TV magic and then be like, hey, look, this one's already done.
Wow.
That we can eat right now.
Oh, so we can try it out right now. That's so great.
Trent as well.
And then, so how long have these been marinating?
Oh, these have been marinating for at least a week, if not 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they're pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, I think it really just depends on what you prefer and what the intention is.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. We have 3 folks here. Trent, if you want to get in. We do have Trent as our cameraman today, so thank you, Trent. Oh, there's his hand. You didn't really see his face, but it's okay.
Great. Would you like one?
Yeah.
Here, I'm just gonna hit it. Ooh. Here we go.
Is that me? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh,
Trent, what's your favorite pickled veg?
Let's hear from Trent.
Yeah, a daikon. Yeah, pickled daikon.
Pickled daikon. Great answer. Okay. Thanks so much. Cheers. I'm so impatient. I don't think I could ever wait like a full week for them to marinate.
Yeah.
I do like at most I'll do a day.
Yeah. Even a day is like it could feel forever. But,
yeah.
No. Yeah. We will have this on Saturday. We're gonna be at the Undokai at the little Tokyo sets at the Budokan.
Mhm.
If you want a soy pickled cucumber, yeah, and then you may find this. You'll probably find this in our like daily bentos. Um, yeah, I mean it's something that I feel it is a little more contemporary in the landscape of like traditional Japanese food, traditional, non-traditional. But I see how, I think things like this, I don't know if it's something that my dad would have necessarily known as a Japanese man.
Yeah.
As a Japanese man who's a French chef. But it's definitely something that like Chef Jared knows or Chef Chris or a lot of the like Japanese American or the Asian diaspora chefs.
Great.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
A few follow-up questions.
Yes.
So first off, when we make this, so would you drain the liquid from the cucumbers after the salt goes through it?
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Do you
Oh.
drain like the excess water that comes out?
Yes. Technically, you should.
Yeah.
I kind of cheated and I didn't, but technically.
But
you
we're
should.
doing movie magic, so it's
Exactly,
okay. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yes, normally you would want to remove that water, but for this time, we're just gonna skip it.
Right.
And then question two, what's the shelf life on these? How long can we keep these in our fridge for?
Ooh, I don't have an answer for that. I mean,
see.
I feel like it could be very long, given that it has a lot of vinegar and salt in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I usually would ask Chef Jared about something like that.
Sorry. Got it.
But no, it's fine. But I also would like, if it happened to be in the fridge, I would for a year. I would also like try it just to see. I mean, there's always the stories about like our grandparents having like jars of umef for a long time, and yeah, I know it's like. It can be confusing because I think growing up in the States, we're used to, I think, a more Western idea of food safety.
Yeah.
But then it's like some things that don't pass food safety here is completely food safe in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And or in China or like in Spain and these countries are so much older than the United States.
Right.
And so I always try to be mindful about something. Things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just reiterate and just to say from our perspective here at Cato, while we cannot condone or recommend to try anything past any sort of date, we're just expressing what Philip himself would like to do. And that's up to his own choices, and discretion, and that's just his own level of curiosity and what he likes to do and exploring his own version or takes on food. But yeah, I definitely agree on that those aspects they just differ by country and stuff like that, and also by person sometimes too.
Right. Yeah. Like there are certainly things that it's cultural that may not be executed in a place of business.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's trying to figure out like what's the balance of that.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking on that, also, speaking on the balance of like life in general, and also you talked about your dad being a Japanese man who's also a French chef. Do you want to talk a little bit about like, I guess, your family history, your family legacy? Like, what was it like having, a dad who did have this fancy restaurant also in Japan, then also having this restaurant here? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. It was, I mean, I think there's this assumption that we ate fancy food all the time because he was a fine dining chef. But as my mom, sister, and I know that usually when he cooked at home, it would be like oden or udon, or it's like things that are very simple.
Yeah.
Because who likes to do what they do for work at home? Nobody does, or nobody should.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that things I wasn't really aware of his role in the food community and the food history, the Little Tokyo community, until I got to work with him.
Yeah.
until I got to go on my first trip to France.
Yeah.
And I think also see and really like I think understand him through other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just seeing the like extremely thoughtful messages that other restaurateurs or chef would how they would speak about him never really came to light until I was awakened to it.
Right.
But yeah, with him, with him, he always had my mom, who was extremely supportive in him being able to, be committed to his career and craft. For a restaurant, it takes more than a single chef.
Yeah.
Although
definitely.
probably a traditional French chef would say otherwise. It takes a village, and so I do see how like how my father and my mom like complemented one another, how they're very grounded in this food. I mean, we all are.
Yeah.
But yeah, the food, the care for it, and yeah, it was a blessing in disguise being able to work with him during the time that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I want to share. Yeah. Like I think I definitely understand what you were saying about your dad, like cooking at home. My grandma also works and worked at a restaurant. And so, I don't think she ever rarely ever cooks for herself at home. She'll usually get like, baked saba from
Yeah.
like Mordecai and then just take it home with rice.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's great.
Right.
Really quick, we also did have a question from the chat.
Yes.
Veronica asked, what is your favorite sugo one?
Oh, great question. I don't even know. I love the white onion one. I don't know what it's called, but I love how it eats like a small white onion or like a grape.
Yeah.
But I also love, I don't even know what you call it, but I also love like the pickled onions that you would get at a taco stand.
Oh, like the pink ones?
The pink ones.
Yeah.
The red onion. Yeah.
Those are great.
Brings a lot of brightness into something that could be heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the world of fermentation is something that is a little intimidating because there's just so much out there, and a lot of it is, I feel like old world knowledge, and here in the States, we like our introduction is the dill pickle,
right?
Not knowing that there really is a whole world of fermentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. So also to go in with, this answer and also your previous answer too, do you want to share a little bit about your connection and your relationship with food in general? Like, I guess, were you always interested in getting a chance to work with your dad or even like just getting to work in a restaurant? And how did that start?
Yeah, I never did. I did not think of myself. I think before college, I knew I didn't want to work at a restaurant, just knowing how hard my father worked for so little.
Yeah.
It wasn't about like how hard he worked, but it was that I mean in the restaurant industry it is so unique in that it is incredibly labor intense, and yet there's an expectation to be creative. And it's like, how do we do that when we exhaust our bodies and our minds? But I think when I became aware of the impact that that a restaurant experience can have, hospitality, the role that my family has had in the community, and the importance of it, that's when I think felt to be more committed to doing this work.
Yeah.
It especially felt so when we moved the restaurant from Maison Akita in Pasadena to here. because there was the monetary element of being like buy a home or open a restaurant in Little Tokyo. It is a very in many ways it's a very difficult decision to make because it's so expensive. But in other ways it's very easy because of I think our relationship to the community. And it just made sense to us. And yeah, I didn't really work there full time until I wanted to build a relationship with the staff.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't do that with me working there only on the weekends and remotely during the week and being supportive. So I kind of just jumped with 2 feet in, and started working full time there 3 years ago. Yeah, I mean it's very meaningful work personally, and I know for the family it's important. I feel like there was no question about whether we should do it or not.
Yeah.
But it was like, how are we going to make it happen? And that continues to this day. That continues to this day with all the challenges that present itself.
Got it.
Yeah.
I guess, okay. So speaking on that and all your, your connections to, the connections to the people, the community, your sense of hospitality, a sense of creativity, whether it's about, I guess, whether it's about Azay, about you, or about the sense of community in general, what are some key takeaways you'd want like our viewers to take away or impart on themselves from this class today?
Key takeaways related to everything we talked about today.
Anything, yeah.
Sorry, I also realized I didn't even answer your question about my relationship to food. It's delicious. It's great. It's important. We should have the right to have access to clean, nutritious, healthy food. But the sad thing is we don't in many ways. Key takeaway is no, I think it's I was gonna say no cell phones at the dinner table. It should be about being intentional with the people you spend time with while you eat, being intentional with ourselves as we eat, as we experience the food, as we reflect and think about the many hands that the food has to pass through. The earth that we have a responsibility to take care of for future generations, also for ourselves as we're living here right now. I think it's really about being present while we get to enjoy food. And also I think pass it along to others. One thing I'm thinking about is I think I feel like food culture in France, typically it is so grounded in that they obsess about it. And for me, there's something really special about meeting people or meeting friends of friends, and them knowing just what kind of produce is available at what time of the year and specific things like that. I think it's really it's so special, and I hope that with Azay we're able to do that. Granted, we're not going to have a no cell phone policy, but we just hope that people can experience the human interaction that food allows us to. Because we spend more time on our phones and on our computers and on screens than getting to interact with one another. So I mean, we've all done this before. We've experienced it before, so it's just going back to that just a little bit.
That's a very beautiful answer. Thank you. I think so, talking about the connections that can be made with that, do you have any thoughts on like why, or like, I guess my question to you would be like, why do you think food can create a space that allows us to feel so much, I guess, safer, or like an environment that's easier to share and I guess really experience something with someone, or even like talk about your favorite pickles?
Right. I think because it's it could be so personal. It's very unique to our individual selves. I'm gonna pull in from a community friend, Tony Asumi, about like our individual histories as part of a collective history, being in our time with our food history. I'm totally blanking on the question that you just asked, but yeah, what was it? Sorry.
Yeah, I guess I think you sort of answered it, but sort of with your last question answer, I guess. But uh, do you do you think of any reason why food allows
Right.
a space that's easier to connect with someone or share with someone?
Yeah, I feel like it disarms ourselves. I mean, case in point, we've all experienced and we all have been in presence with somebody who is, as what they call now, hangry, in which someone is very armed, very alert, because they're seeking nourishment or because they're simply hungry. I think food allows us to exactly disarm ourselves, to nourish ourselves. And I think that nourishment is not only exclusive to food, but it's also nourishment with the social interactions that we have with one another, and also with ourselves. Yeah, I don't know. I remember when I first when I was a membership intern at JCL, PSW here, just a couple years ago. They had this method, or I think it was Venice Culver JCL had this like strategy called, I think that's like sushi and sake, where before you ask somebody like to do something, like, hey, do you want to join our committee? You should take them out to sushi and sake first, and then you could ask them. And I think food provides that bridging.
Yeah, our staff member Kent, I don't know, he usually always says like it's easier to talk with someone when you break rice with them, versus breaking bread. He likes to start the conversation over, a shared meal. So I think, it does show that it's, something about it just is more warm and inviting.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's I mean, we do it 2 to 3 times a day.
Yeah.
We should all be doing it 2 to 3 times a day. Sometimes I think we forget. Because it's easy to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to just we are getting a little bit closer to 3 o'clock, so I wanted to ask, our audience today, does anyone have any other questions for Philip? We do have a few more questions, but just in case anyone from, the audience would like to share or ask anything, we're happy to hear from you guys.
In the meantime, you mentioned your grandmother had worked at a restaurant.
Yes.
What restaurant was it? Or is it?
Yeah, my family owns and operates Kotosh. It's a Japanese Peruvian restaurant in Lamita. So my aunt and my grandpa are the co-owners. My grandma, she's 88. She still works. She's been working in a kitchen since she was 5 years old. She originally grew up in Peru, and so she was working in the kitchen since forever, she says. And so she still cooks the daily specials. I think she mainly goes in on Wednesday mornings. So she'll still get up 6 a.m. every day, go to the restaurant, make sure everything's scrubbed clean, and then cook the daily special for the day.
Wow. What are some of the daily specials?
Some of the daily specials are, so there are more, the daily specials are more Peruvian more than Japanese. So I know Tuesday specifically is arroz con pollo con papelón gallina. So it's a green rice dish with chicken accompanied with a potato dish with a sort of yellow pepper cream sauce. Yeah. She also, on like Wednesdays, she'll make a Peruvian minestrone soup. On Thursdays, that is a Japanese curry. Yeah,
Nice.
that'll be a special then. Yeah.
How would you describe? Don't mind me asking.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask these questions as people think of some and drop them in the comments. How would you describe, or how do you think that Peruvian food or Japanese food via Peru or Peruvian food, how does it reflect the diaspora and and I guess for you, like for you and your family specifically, the part of Peru your family's from?
Yeah. Yeah, so my family is from Lima, Peru. I grew up, being told that I'm Peruvian, Okinawan, Japanese. And I think it definitely does do a good reflection of it because Peru is incredibly diverse and its population is diaspora in general. We have a whole like subculture of like our own Nikkei culture. So, it's Peruvian and some subculture of like Asia. So not only is there Peruvian Japanese, there's Peruvian, Chinese, Korean, all sorts of Asians in Peru actually. And the food is very reflective of that. So a lot of the dishes that are like staple Peruvian dishes, they have elements of like almost like so many other countries in one dish. Like the one thing that people hear a lot for Peruvian food is lomo saltado, and it is it's a stir fry dish, but it's on a Chinese wok, and it has shoyu and it has like all these different flavors in it. But yeah, I think it's a great reflection that the Peruvian food is a mixture of just so many different subcultures and creates this beautiful bouquet of flavors in general.
I know it's so good. I wonder why there isn't one in Little Tokyo. But
I think that's just money, space, all
Right.
these other things.
right, so many factors. Yeah, and maybe like the Peruvian restaurants are in LA or where there are communities of people of the Peruvian diaspora.
Right.
So not necessarily, yeah, not meaning that like they have to be in Little Tokyo, but how they are a reflection of the neighborhoods that they exist in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one in Highland Park called Rosty's that my partner loves.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have not heard of that one, but I
Yeah.
definitely got to check it out. Yeah. I also worked for my family's restaurant for a little bit. So
Front or back of house?
both.
Oh, wow.
I started back of house. So I started
Wow.
being a dishwasher and like in the kitchen,
Wow.
helping with cutting. And then I became a server later on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. And then I was like about to learn how to do like the sushi because my uncle's the sushi chef there. But then I was like, I don't want to learn that. I do regret it now, like years later. But yeah, in the moment I was like, I don't want to learn more work.
Yeah, it's something that you could still revisit.
Yeah.
And could be reserved for like family gatherings.
Yeah.
It's also ancestral, so it's in your veins.
Yeah.
Just gotta
bring
it into
relearn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love learning about different Peruvian places that we can try out because there's just always I don't think you'll ever find the same flavor in two places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that's very special and it's so true too that we're not a monolith.
Yeah.
Or that Nice. Trent, what is your I don't know, what should we ask Trent? Well, we have 6 more minutes, I guess. Trent
Trent's very excited to answer this question.
Very difficult question. Trent, what's your
okay. Ayako asked, will Philip return soon to share another dish or two?
Yeah, sure. We will be happy to.
It'll just depend on your very busy schedule, I'm assuming.
No, it's fine. I mean, we could whip something up. Yeah, no, absolutely will. I'm sure we'll work on scheduling or figuring that out. Yeah, one of the things I think we try to, I know it seems like we're doing a lot of talking, which I think, sure, we are. It's also an interview. But I think one of the challenges of like talking or doing something like this and cooking is that it creates a lot of noise.
Right.
So like at the if we did this at the restaurant, you would hear our hood before our stove and it's just so loud.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be doing things that are easy, that could be done on a stovetop. Yeah, I mean, I think like it'll be very powerful for us and important for people to enjoy our food not only at the restaurant but able to prepare things at home.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing that. Yeah, I think it is great that you're willing to share that. And you guys heard it here first that we will try our best to get Philip again. So we'll see when we can fit his very busy schedule, but we'll do our best.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Any last questions before we start to close out? We'll wait a little bit. While we wait, do we want to see how these pickles turned out in this like 30-minute time span?
I think it's great to just try it. There may be discussing, but at least we know. Yeah, do you want to grab your
Yeah.
fork
Try it.
and maybe like very lightly? Wait,
Oh,
this is
that
not
one.
even it.
Yeah.
Or like these taste exactly like it.
These taste really great.
Yeah. Great. So it has cooled noticeably.
Yes.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, thank you.
That's okay. Trent, here you go.
We'll make sure Trent gets some too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's still a great flavor.
Mm.
Yeah.
It tastes like a cucumber and soy sauce.
It does kind of taste like that, but
Yeah.
a little bit, like acidic.
Right.
I don't think we taste too much of the sugar,
Right.
but a warm cucumber is not that bad.
Right. And there's like the freshness of the cucumber itself. So yeah, totally have people do us treats.
Gotcha. One last question from Alice. So what are some environmental practices that you use in the restaurant?
Oh, we have LED lights. No. I think what's one of the benefits of being in Little Tokyo is that there's so many organizations, programs, people, and one that we have really connected with through Chef Julia, who used to be with us a couple years ago. There's a compost bin right behind the JCC. They meet there on Fridays between 9 and 11. So we take for example, there are the ends for the cucumbers. There's a lot of like shavings of carrots or ends of vegetables. We take it to the compost bin for it to compost into soil that they then use at a garden that is on the Union Church grounds. But also you could take some of the composted soil to wherever as well. That's one way we try to close the loop, as we learned through Amy Wonjio, through Andy Kimura, is to closing the loop and not produce any waste. What are the things? I know we have done other things. I mean, we have strongly encouraged. It sounds silly, but we strongly encourage that people eat at the restaurant because then we don't have to use as many plastics. We have used reusable hashis before we didn't. I mean, our goal is to be the least impactful to the environment as possible.
Yeah. So we are getting close to time, I guess. So thank you everybody who can join. If you have to leave right now, feel free to. We'll try to answer these last questions before we close up. Okay, so
our cousin from Japan is calling in.
Yeah. Okay. So we have. Okay, I guess we'll go in order. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kathy asked, will you be drawing persimmon in the window this year?
Yes. Next question. Just kidding. Kathy, I'll be reaching out to you. I would love to. Kathy, all-star and expert at drawing kaki or doing hoshigaki. So yes, although it'll be a little difficult with our current dining room situation.
Yeah.
Do any of your ingredients come to Japan? Yes, we do have a lot of ingredients that do come from Japan. I feel like the question is going to lead into tariffs, which yes, it does increase our costs. And we're trying to figure it out. We don't have an answer. I think it's just to support and try to understand small businesses with these tariff challenges, and that it's kind of out of their hands, and it's also really hard to raise prices. But sometimes they don't have the decision to not do that. Your father was in the restaurant business in 3 countries. Did he ever express what was the biggest difference between them, positive, negative? He hasn't, but I would assume that. I guess just briefly, I would assume that it was most meaningful to be in Japan because his family was there. That was the first restaurant that he opened. I think in France, for that, it was really about how to find a home in a place that is not, how do you find a home and community in a place that you didn't grow up in. And a lot of that has to do with the identity that is shaped by the community and the people that we surround ourselves in. That's why I think he was a French chef in a Japanese man's body, because in many ways he like took on the values of the French culture.
Yeah.
And then here, I feel like a lot of it had to do with my mom. Had a lot to do with Japanese America.
Yeah.
I know in some videos that you may see, he is a strong advocate for people to, I mean, you can't go now, but to go to the museum,
Right.
to understand what Japanese American history is, which meant a lot to me because he was a Japanese man.
Yeah.
So I think that is, part of the biggest takeaways. And I know that like I am continuing to learn about him as I get older, through other people, through experience. Negative. I'm sure there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's some negatives. It's the balance of things. So yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Any last words for the audience, Philip?
No, there is a caregiver conference at the end of the month. There's a kiddo caregiver conference at the end of the month, so I'm sure look into your inbox and you'll find that. It's probably on the website. Give a shout out to Brendan and Trent there if they're there. Nothing more than that. But yeah.
Thanks so much, Philip.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, I'll go ahead and share the rest of our slides real quick. Okay, so well, thank you everyone. Just to give an update also on those classes. So we do have upcoming quality of life classes. So in 2 weeks from now, we'll have our genealogy office hours with Grant Din. He is a genealogist. This is a follow-up from a class from last month. And then in November, we'll have 2 classes. So in the middle of the month, we'll have medical and paying for long-term care with Carl Kim. And then we'll also have a cemetery and funeral and cemetery planning 101 class with Fukui Mortuary on November 20th. Just to give you also an update on what Philip mentioned, the caregiver conference that will be happening in the Gardena Valley JCI on October 25th. Currently, we are at max capacity, but we do have a wait list, so feel free to check that out. But thank you again for the shout out, Philip. Lastly, we also, Keto announced Keto Kikyo Home. So this is their initiative for the boarding care. As of right now, we can just share that, they've purchased a property. It's in Torrance, and we also have an executive director, Desiree Kitagawa. But for more information on the Keto Kikyo Home, which is a boarding care, go ahead and contact at keto.org. Okay, thank you again so much for everybody who came out and to join us. Feel free to. I don't have a book. Yeah. Thank you to everybody who came to join us and support us. Thank you again to all the donors for today's class. We really can't do this without your help. So please feel free to continue supporting us. Continue to support Philip and all the Little Tokyo organizations, staple landmarks, community stores, restaurants in general, everything. So thank you again, everybody. Thanks so much for joining and staying a little bit later for today's class. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And thanks again to Philip. Big shout outs.